Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jordyn and welcome to my September TBR. You guys, it is already almost September. I cannot believe we are almost so close to the end of the year. That is so crazy. This year is going by so fast. I am very excited because September is going to be a very busy month for me. I am going to be doing a lot of traveling for work in September actually. In the middle of the month, I'm going to be going to Nashville for like 4 days. And then at the very end of the month, I'm going to be traveling to Europe for work for a couple of weeks. So that's going to make my life very, very busy. Also in September, there are 2 really exciting readathons happening that I absolutely plan on participating in. One I am a co-host for and one I am just planning on being a participant for, but I am so excited for both of them. But with how busy my life is going to be and knowing that I have those 2 readathons that I want to do a lot of reading for, I am only planning my readathon TBRs for September. And then around the readathons, I will just mood read, go with the flow, travel, whatever. So I think that will provide me the structure that I like when planning monthly TBRs because there are still a lot of books I know I want to get to, but also give me some flexibility because it's going to be a crazy month. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The first readathon that I will for sure be participating in September is the Upside Down Readathon. This is a Stranger Things readathon that I am a co-host for along with 5 other lovely ladies. We each made an announcement video announcing the readathon, so I will link mine below in case you missed it. That video has all of the details about the readathon, including who the other hosts are, what are our reading prompts and our buddy reads. There are some photo prompts and some live shows happening. So a lot of stuff to keep us busy, and so again, if you haven't checked that out, definitely go watch that video. But the books that I am planning on reading for that week, I have 5 of them because there are 5 reading prompts. The first one I definitely have to make a priority is the buddy read that I chose for my favorite character, Dustin. We're going to be reading One Word Kill by Mark Lawrence. This is a sci-fi book about a group of friends that loves to play Dungeons and Dragons together. When one of the characters gets approached by this creepy guy who's giving him like cryptic messages about him and his friends being in danger, and I think there's like a time travel element or something in here, so it sounds right up my alley and I'm really excited to get to it. It is very short, less than 200 pages, so this is the first one I will knock out for the readathon. Then a book that I have been meaning to get to for a long time. This is perfect for the prompt of a book with a game or competition element, and that's Queen of the Tiles by Hannah Alkoff. This is about a main character who is a Scrabble tournament champion, and I think she gets wrapped up into some kind of murder mystery where she's getting clues through the Scrabble tiles. It sounds so good. I cannot wait to read this. It's also actually pretty short now that I'm looking at it, less than 300 pages. So another one perfect for a readathon. Then for the prompt of a book with multiple POVs, I'm going to try The Nanny by Gilly Macmillan. This looks like it's about a girl who had a nanny when she was younger. The nanny suddenly disappeared, and now several years later, that girl is finding out what really happened to that nanny. I have been meaning to read this for a while. I really love the cover of it and how it's so like shiny and almost metallic-y, and it does look to have different POVs. Like this chapter is about a detective or from a detective's perspective, so that should work perfectly. Then for the prompt of a psychological thriller, I was having a hard time picking a book for this one because sometimes I think it's hard to know if a book is a psychological thriller or a domestic thriller or just a regular thriller. It's hard to know exactly what type it is before you read the book. So I'm going to go with the new thriller by Megan Miranda because I have read several other Megan Miranda books before and I would consider them psychological thrillers. There are always twists and turns and things that leave the reader guessing. So her newest one is called The Last to Vanish. I have this book through Libro FM, which is an audiobook app, and this was one of their advanced listener copy titles that they offered last month or this month, so I have it downloaded and I know nothing about the plot, so hoping it's a psychological thriller at least a little bit. And then the last prompt for the Upside Down Readathon is a book with lights on the cover, and for this one I think I'm going to read one of the other co-hosts' buddy read books, and I'm going to go with When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry. This is a young adult sci-fi fantasy book, as far as I understand, about this small town, this group of kids, something weird happens in the town, so they go to investigate it. Might have something to do with like aliens or something based on the cover, but I am just particularly interested in reading another book by Emily Henry that is not adult contemporary romance, so hoping to fit this book in that week. So the Upside Down Readathon is going from September 5th to the 11th. Then I will have a couple days of a break, and then the next readathon that I want to participate in is the Losers Club Readathon from September 16th to the 22nd. This is a Stephen King themed readathon hosted by three lovely ladies, Ashley, Elizabeth, and Beth. Mostly I love them, so I would participate in any readathon they hosted, but this is actually perfect because I'm going to dip my toes a little bit further into Stephen King's backlist. You do not have to read Stephen King books to participate in this readathon. All of the prompts are just inspired by Stephen King's books and his universe and everything like that. But I'm going all in with Stephen King, and that is mainly due to the fact that Beth from Beth's All Booked recently sent me 5 Stephen King books that she had no use for. And so I was like, all right, I guess now is the time to just go ahead and read them. The first book that I'm going to read for this readathon, though, is not one of the ones that I own. It is the buddy read for the event, and it's actually like a short story or novella. It's called 1922. I believe it's set at like an abandoned farmhouse, and there is a movie adaptation. So this is going to work for several prompts for the readathon. 1, the buddy read. 2, I'm going to consider it a creepy setting. And then 3, I plan to watch the movie adaptation as part of the readathon, and so it will knock out that prompt as well. Then getting into some of the other prompts that I want to hit. The first is a book with red on the cover, and for that I'm going to use Gerald's Game. This also has a movie adaptation, which I have seen, and I actually really liked it. This is about a married couple who goes to this like secluded cabin together, and they're having some intimate time, and the husband handcuffs the wife to the bedpost, and then he has a heart attack and dies. So the whole rest of the book is about her trying to survive as she is handcuffed to the bed. And it doesn't sound like that would be that exciting, but the movie was very tense and interesting, even though she was like in one place the whole entire time. So I'm hoping that this book gives that exact same vibe and feelings. The next prompt that I'm gonna hit is a book with a school setting, and for that I'm going to go with Carrie. I have also seen this movie adaptation, and I think I also read this book way back in like high school. I don't have a ton of memories or thoughts about it, but I do want to read it again because it is obviously one of Stephen King's most well-known and beloved books. This is about a teenage girl named Carrie who is struggling in school. She doesn't have many friends or anything, and then she realizes she has telekinetic powers, and she kind of uses that to like wreak havoc on the entire school and everything. This book is so short and the writing is so big on the page, so I think this will be a perfect one for a readathon, a really quick read, so it's perfect. Then another prompt is a book with a female protagonist, which could be most of Stephen King's books. Now that I'm looking, I'm realizing that almost all of them are from a female's perspective or about a female main character. But for this prompt, I'm going to go with Dolores Claiborne. To be honest, I have no idea what this book is about, and I knew nothing about it. I don't even know if I knew it existed until it was sent to me by Beth in this little pack of books. But I posted this stack on Instagram, and I got multiple replies about this book in particular, about people having read it and loved it. So that is actually making me very excited about it. I read the back, and it looks like it's about a woman who turns up dead in her home, and so everyone thinks it was the housekeeper that murdered her, and Dolores Claiborne is the housekeeper. So I think it's about her and whether she did it or figuring out what happened to this woman. I don't know. Again, a lot of people seem to like it, so I'm really excited to now know about this book and read it for myself. Okay, and then the last book that I want to read for this readathon is going to be for the prompt of secondhand book. Obviously, all of these books that I received from Beth could double up and hit that prompt, but I have one more that I really want to read, and that's Misery. This book I have heard a lot about. A lot of people love it. I think it's a lot of people's favorite book of King's, and this is about a woman, I think her name is Annie. She has a favorite author. She loves this author, she loves his books, and apparently in like his most recent book he wrote, he kills off her favorite character or something, and that makes Annie very mad. So she kidnaps the author and basically holds him hostage until he writes a new book with a new ending, or like doing what she wants to have happen in the book series. Sounds very interesting, and I want to know what everyone's love and hype is about for this book, so I'm gonna read it. The only book that Beth sent me that I don't have a particular interest in reading is Cujo, so I just wanted to put this out there and ask, has anybody read this book and do you like it? Because the synopsis completely does not interest me. I guess it's about a dog who like gets infected and probably starts killing people or something. I just don't really care about dogs. I am very much not a pet person, so I have no interest in reading about a crazy killer dog. So part of me is thinking about like donating or getting rid of this book because this is just the one I don't really care to read. But let me know if for some reason that opinion of mine is wrong and there's something else to this book that would make it worth reading. But those are the 10 books that I want to read for the 2 readathons happening in September. Again, outside of those readathons, who knows what I'm going to pick up. Probably a lot of audiobooks, probably a couple mood reads, but I still think September is going to be such a great month. I will be vlogging both of these readathons, so look out for those reading vlogs. Let me know what you are planning on reading in September. Also let me know if any of these books that I have on my TBR, if you've read and what your thoughts are on them. Otherwise, I don't think I have anything else. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.